The night the knowledge of the ancient world began to vanish did not start with silence. It started with fire. You stand on the edge of a city that once held the mind of humanity itself, Alexandria. Ships crowd the harbor, scholars move through marble halls, and inside one building, something extraordinary exists. The Library of Alexandria, a place where the greatest ideas ever written were gathered: science, philosophy, astronomy, medicine, knowledge from Egypt, Greece, Persia, India, all stored in one place. Not just books, but the collected memory of civilization. Inside its walls, scribes copy texts day and night. Every ship that docks in Alexandria is searched, not for weapons, but for scrolls. Originals are taken, copied, and added to the library. This is not just a library, it's an obsession, a mission to understand everything. But history doesn't protect knowledge. Power does, and power is unstable. The year is 48 BCE. Julius Caesar arrives in Alexandria, pulled into a civil war between Cleopatra and her brother. The city becomes a battlefield. Fires break out near the harbor as Caesar orders ships burned to block enemy fleets. The flames spread. No one expects it, but fire doesn't care about borders. Some ancient sources claim the flames reached warehouses storing scrolls, possibly part of the Great Collection itself. If true, thousands of works may have been lost in a single uncontrolled blaze. Knowledge that had survived centuries, gone in hours. But this is only the beginning. The Library of Alexandria was not destroyed in one moment. It died slowly, piece by piece. After Caesar, the city changed hands, rulers shifted, priorities changed, funding faded, scholars left, and over time, the institution weakened. Centuries later, during the rise of the Roman Empire and the spread of Christianity, conflict grew between old pagan traditions and new beliefs. In 391 CE, tensions exploded. The Serapeum, often considered a part of the library complex, was destroyed under orders tied to religious conflict. What remained of the ancient collections may have been lost here. And then, silence. No final record. No single date where someone says, this is the end. Just absence. The greatest library in human history disappears from time. Imagine what was inside. Works from thinkers whose names we will never know. Scientific discoveries that may have been centuries ahead. Philosophies that could have changed how we see the world. Entire cultures documented and then erased. Not because they were wrong, but because they were vulnerable. What we lost isn't just scrolls, it's progress. Some historians believe we may have lost early understandings of advanced mathematics, engineering concepts, even ideas about the universe that wouldn't reappear until over 1,000 years later. Think about that. Humanity didn't just lose knowledge, it may have lost time itself. And here's the terrifying truth: this wasn't inevitable. The Library of Alexandria didn't fall because knowledge failed. It fell because humans failed to protect it. War, politics, religion, neglect. Not one enemy, but many small decisions over time that led to a permanent loss. Today, we store information in servers, clouds, digital archives. We believe knowledge is safe, but history whispers something different. All it takes is one moment, one war, one collapse, one failure to preserve what matters, and everything we know, everything we've built, could vanish. Just like it did in Alexandria. The fire that erased human knowledge forever wasn't just a tragedy of the past. It's a warning. Because the question isn't how the Library of Alexandria was destroyed. The real question is, if it happened once, could it happen again? Because history has a pattern, and we rarely notice it until it's too late. You move forward in time, past the ashes at Alexandria, and you begin to see something unsettling. The loss of knowledge didn't end there. It echoed in different places, in different forms. The burning of books in ancient China under Emperor Qin Shi Huang, the destruction of texts during invasions, conquests, and revolutions. The same story, repeating, knowledge built over centuries, erased in moments of fear or control. It's never just about books, it's about power over ideas. Because whoever controls knowledge controls the future. Back in Alexandria, imagine the final days. Not flames this time, but emptiness. Shelves once filled with scrolls now bare. Dust settling where scholars once debated the nature of the stars. No dramatic ending, just a slow fading into irrelevance. And that might be the most haunting part of all. Not destruction, but neglect. Because fire is loud. It's visible. You can point to it and say, that's when it ended. But silence? Silence erases things without anyone noticing. And that's how civilizations truly lose their knowledge. Not in a single catastrophic event, but in the quiet moments where preservation stops mattering. Now think about today. We live in a world overflowing with information. More data is created in a single day than ancient civilizations could produce in centuries. It feels impossible to lose it all. Everything is backed up, duplicated, stored across the globe. But is it really safe? Digital knowledge is fragile in its own way. It depends on electricity, infrastructure, systems we barely understand, a massive cyber attack, a global conflict, a collapse of networks, and suddenly access disappears, not burned, but gone. And unlike scrolls carved in ink, digital memory leaves no ruins behind, no ashes to study, just absence, the same silence. There's a reason the story of the Library of Alexandria still haunts us. It's not just about what we lost. It's about what we never even knew existed. Ideas that could have changed medicine, altered technology, transformed philosophy, entire perspectives on reality, gone before they ever reached us. Think about how different the world might be if even a fraction of that knowledge had survived. Would the scientific revolution have come earlier? Would humanity have reached the stars sooner? Or would we simply understand ourselves better than we do now? We'll never know. And that uncertainty is the true legacy of the fire, because it reminds us that knowledge is not permanent. It doesn't belong to the world. It survives only as long as we protect it. Every generation inherits the past, but it can also erase it. So the story doesn't end in Alexandria. It continues with us.